and welcome to another episode of StrawChat. And today I'm joined by Lee and the wonderful Jake. How you been? Well, I haven't seen you for ages.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm still nursing this drink, though. Drink responsibly, kids. But
3 weeks after.
Excuse us while we kill the Skypiea, that is.
Hey, so yeah, we've just headed up the knock up stream.
Yep.
And now we're going to enter the proper Skypiea arc, which is the main bulk of it, which I'm kind of looking forward to because you were saying not a lot of people rate this arc.
Yeah, I was going to say this is like a lot of people's drop-off point for some reason.
Right.
But to me, I was like, oh, this is like a proper adventure in like unknown land type of thing. But I heard it explained quite well that I hadn't really connected dots on before. Like, you know how the first arc is called Romance Dawn, or like the first episode, like volume of the manga and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's talking about romance in this like adventure sense, when it's like, ooh, a grand adventure, like awaits type of thing. And it's like, yeah, this is like the show's first big stab at like a romantic in that kind of sense of adventure, not like people getting together type of thing. So yeah, if you're not here for that, I guess if you just want power scaling, you're probably not going to be that satisfied with Skypiea.
You see, what I'm really enjoying about the series so far are the adventures, the learning about the world. I do enjoy the fights, but I don't think they're as big to my enjoyment as the rest of the series, like the learning about the crew, the character development, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they don't stop this. There's a few good moments of like, how do we get to this place? No one's wrote down any directions, so we're gonna like figure it out. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't drop this kind of a blueprint, I guess, going forward, which is nice. They just kind of build on it.
I mean, even in this arc with the character development, I'm swinging on Usopp. Like I thought he was the biggest waste of space. I don't know why he was on the crew, and then he's came into his own here. I'm starting to say, I mean, I can't see him as a useful fighter, but I see him as a valuable member of the crew now.
I was getting worried about that.
My mind's changed on that.
Like, I've been looking into this because I was like, oh, Chris hates Usopp, and it's like, it's making us sad. And I was like looking, and I was like, I wonder if the guy who voices him is on Cameo. And I was like, he is. Like, I was like, oh, I might see if I can pay him to just be like, why don't you like me? So that'll save us like 40 quid or whatever it was.
It is tough though, because he is like pure comedy, and he does take a lot of screen time. Like, there's a lot of screaming and stuff. Or like him like shouting over people. So I get it. Like, he is annoying, but he's definitely designed to be annoying.
Speaking of the voice actor as well, the guy who does the English version also voices Krillin in Dragon Ball.
Ooh, that's a good link.
I'm wondering if that's like his specialty of voicing people that are useful, but just the butt of the joke and just get done in all the time.
Well, maybe, but Japanese
Krillin
is Luffy, so like Japanese Krillin got an upgrade.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's a good little link though, that they hired both the Krillins to do something.
See, I love Krillin in Dragon Ball Z, in Dragon Ball. So
the best fighter in Dragon Ball.
Yeah. He just, I don't know, he represents those Balden Kings.
Yeah, Usopp has no redeemable fighting skills, but he does have decent inventions and ideas. So
he's an amazing.
He's the planner.
He's a strategist. He's perfect at that, which you'll get more and more of as we watch this. He's brilliant with his strategies for anyone.
I don't think I saw him as that in my head until the end of this arc.
Yeah,
he brought in some of his invention. I was like, oh yeah, he's carrying his weight. He's not being carried by the crew. He's got a role that he's fitting into.
Even when he first gets introduced, when he's got like all of his flags and stuff like popping out the bushes when he first shows up, he's been protecting the island from pirates, and that's like him coming up with a plan.
Lies.
Yeah.
No, I do like how there's a few moments where he's really quick to be like, oh, hang on, yeah, we'll roll with this situation. It's a bit later, like in the G8 stuff, but like when he's like, oh, I see an angle on a tall tale here. He does it to the Skypeans as well, like later on when he's like, look at this rubber band. It's the most amazing thing in the world. Yes,
Oh,
actually, Usopp
treat-
rubber band is one of his like signature moves, isn't it? It's like,
I don't think it's ever had an effect on anyone.
oh, it knocked down the big tree, and the evidence was right there. Yeah, but this is like a kind of crazy intro because they're on this like white sea thing, and they sort of figure out that I guess the water is it more dense? It makes them float easier. I
less
guess
dense.
they say like it's easier to swim through, but then Usopp like swims all the way down to the bottom and like falls out of the clouds. And there's a lot of near death from falling in this arc.
Yeah. Which I don't mind because it's like they reach the White Sea and it's like this whole new, like all of everything you knew from the Blue Sea is what they call is the normal sea that I've been on is flipped upside down where it's new law, it's new creatures, and even a new race of people. Would you say?
Sort of, yeah.
There's who? The Shandarians or the people that live in the Skypeans? Ah, right.
Skypeans.
The Birkins. I don't know if Birkins
called.
I don't know if that got mentioned, or if this is some of the stuff that I'm gonna have to bring up later.
I think it might be because I remember Sanji calling the mechanic's daughter an angel, and you're a bunch of angels and stuff like that. So I just went with that, and I was like, "Well, they've got wings on the back, and we had antenna, but."
Yeah, which may or may not be their hair. I wasn't quite sure. Yeah, it's an interesting intro because like you wanted to talk about the weird old lady who's like the passport, like the border patrol office, who takes the photos on the way in. She's like, "Oh, you'll be fined like 5 billion, I don't know, whatever kronas, whatever the sky money is. I can't remember." But yeah, it's like an interesting intro to the city, and they get took up by like that Lobster Express train sort of thing.
Oh, I love that.
Which also, moves backwards for some reason.
I did want to talk about because when they go there, they've got like a gateway into their islands.
Yeah.
And there is like a gatekeeper who was a very old woman, obviously just near in retirement or whatever. She's got an easy gig, and she's just like, "Oh, you need to pay so much of this kind of money," and they're like, "I don't know what that is," and they're like, "Well, you don't have to pay, but you will receive God's judgment." And they're like,
"Yeah,
okay, bye." And she starts taking pictures, and I'm like, the fact that they have a gate system and technically a security system, does that mean that they're in contact with the Blue Sea regularly to facilitate a gate?
Well, from what I got, it sounds like there hasn't been any Blue Sea people since Enel took over as god, because I think he kind of like put a lockdown on any kind of activities that weren't approved by him. But yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because they're no Blue Sea people, but they don't really know anything about them, and they think they're all strange.
Yeah.
Which the Straw Hats are strange, but for their own reasons.
Yeah. I mean, we'll find out at the end that there has been some Blue Sea people there in the past or more recently, but it's like I don't know. No one seems to have first-hand knowledge of them.
Yeah, I think it's like, this is a cult town, and the cult leader has put a lockdown on like any outside information coming in. He's probably just been killing them. Yeah, he's probably just been killing them as soon as if anyone did fly up on the knock-up stream or whatever.
I wasn't even sure about whether it's Enel not wanting people to come here, or if the reason for all of these charges and saying like pay this or you'll receive God's judgment was the people that live there trying to deter the Blue Sea people away in case they cause trouble and cause Enel to start electrocuting everyone.
Yeah, which he seems to do regularly.
Because Enel's got a very bad area of attack. It's not a single kill that person. It is like this area is knackered.
Yeah, like a column of light.
Like GoldenEye.
Yeah,
he does think he's invincible.
Invincible.
Yeah, so like the dude just go up there. They're like, I don't know what any of this means, and like bless Robin's heart, just trying to figure out like the exchange rate and stuff like that. But Luffy doesn't care that much, and
we don't have to pay.
But they do get like attacked by a weird Native American guy in a in a like a tiki mask, scary looking thing.
Is that Wiper?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they would change his name for English because like Wiper's kind of silly in our language. It probably sounds fine in Japanese.
Wipe and no swiping.
And they get saved by the Sky Knight Gunfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who seems like quite an interesting character.
Because they get their ass kicked because of the, what do you call it, altitude.
Yeah. Oh, yes. They haven't
lack of oxygen.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it sucks to move up here. But then they just get used to it in like 10 minutes. Like, actually, now that I've jumped around a bit, I'm used to it.
Could you imagine if it was that easy? Like, all of them Sherpas at Mount Everest to be out of a job.
Or they would come back like super strong. Which I have heard you can do that, can't you? Like, run, like train up there. And then when you come down, you're like, good to go on the land for a little bit.
I mean, that sounds like some sort of like rich person's peak physical,
like Batman
conditioning kind of thing. Which is, do you know, like when you see on 80s montage films where they're underwater on a treadmill with a breathing thing on? That seems like that kind of over the top stuff.
Okay,
but yeah, I think you can.
We get introduced to waivers as well, which is a nice, cool little transportation system they've got. It's like a jet. Yeah. It's basically a jet ski, and they can't ride it, but Nami just masters it in like 5 minutes.
Because that's her superpower, is the navigator, which apparently extends to drive and stuff also. And so this is where we're introduced to like a sort of, it's not a massive thing in the lore, but it does carry on for a bit, the dial system, which is like a weird shell-based, I don't know, it's not even a weapon sometimes. It's just like a weird shell-based technology where it seems to store energy and stuff in these shells that you can then release whenever you feel like it.
Actually, I really like this introduction to a weird new technology.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you're in East Blue and Alabaster and stuff, you're like, why are they calling each other on snails? Because it's never really explained. But it's just kind of like me or you picking up a mobile phone and having to explain what a mobile phone is. Like, you wouldn't, would you?
Yeah, you're right. There doesn't seem to be any transponder snails in the sky from what we see. So maybe they just use the shells to get around faster and like chat to each other. Yeah.
But I kind of like the new concept and the new possibilities of using it. It's like a new mechanic, isn't it?
Yeah. And like Usopp uses it a bit. But I guess he must run out after a while because he's just got like a sack full of them by the end. That's all he can take with him, including some very funny ones, which we'll see later.
One of my favorite parts of this, I don't know if it's this or the next G8 one, is when Luffy farts in one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, who would put a fart in this?
Like, I'm sorry.
I thought it was funny.
Which the answer is, Chris, you would fart in it. That's we're asking that theoretically.
I wasn't too impressed by the ordeals that I had to go through. Like, they seemed like a bit of a drag. Like, the ordeal of balls.
That's the one I would have went into as well. I was very much on Luffy's side. I was like, yep, let's go in the balls door.
But it does introduce us to Mantra, at least, and they start learning about that. Still not 100% sure what Mantra is, whether it is something that comes into play later on under a different name, or if it's its own thing completely. Yeah,
because there is a lot of we don't really know a lot about the Sky Islands. This is one of them. Was it like, I can't remember, like Lovely Town or something it's called. But like they make the reference that there is other islands on this giant cloud structure. So who knows what kind of powers are sort of existing up there. But yeah, it's actually come up recently in the current, anime. There is stuff that seems like Mantra being used by completely different characters, being used better than sort of, because they make reference that Eneru is the best at it, and the priests are sort of a level down. Then there's the girl has like a sort of some understanding of it, but yeah, it's trouble because they can't really get around it. Really, you have to unnerve the Mantra user to sort of get around it.
I did like Luffy's defense where he's like, you know, it's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll just clear my mind.
Like, yeah. Or when he's like, figures out like, oh, well, if I just like grab him and then he literally can't move, like that also fixes it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think about the ball guy? He was pretty annoying in the Japanese language. I'm not sure what he was like It was just a lot of high pitched, like ha ha ha, like stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
It was still quite annoying. I think all of the priests seemed quite annoying. It was just like,
Yeah,
just hurry up and get the Enel, man.
They're
Yeah,
very
and all-
gimmicky on the.
yeah. The ball. So the ordeal of balls was like, oh, just random crap comes out of these floating like bubbles. You know, like some of them blow up. Some of them have like animals inside. I can make a dragon out of it, which nearly kills everyone. But yeah, they start using this weird power though. That's like shredding them from the inside, isn't it? Because like Luffy's not normally affected by punches and stuff, but like the guy's just like, oh, look at this, and he's just like, oh, my organs, which you later find out is a dial type, the impact one probably.
Oh, that's
I did like.
lethal.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah,
Chris?
I was going to say I do like how, because it is a completely different civilization and stuff, they have a completely different way of fighting as well, because they don't have access to the ground because they're on the clouds, so they'll not have stuff like metals and ore and stuff to make like swords. So they have these dials where they'll put in the armor or put in the. No, I just said they didn't have swords, but they'll put in the swords and lances, where they'll give them attributes like, oh, he has a fire lance, or he has I've got a punch which repels all of the energy that's put into an attack.
Put them in
Yeah.
like birds' mouths as well, so the birds breathe fire and things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there is a weird part where loads of birds come out of the balls and Usopp smashes them on the head with hammers, which are, that's Usopp for you. A weird animal shows up, the hammer comes out.
2-ton hammer.
No, but I did like, because these priests, a lot of them get taken out by someone other than Luffy, which is cool. Other people get to have their thing. Because this is like Sanji getting a big showing, because he does his big like Konkasa like kick thing where he like lands a massive like axe kick out of the sky and just like clocks them. I love that shit.
They're going merry in this as well. How it's like proper wrecked at the moment, and
Oh god, yeah. When they attack the ship, it's awful.
so there's quite a few good scenes where it's like stuff around the merry, like they have a camp out near the boat, don't they?
Mhm.
And there's all the wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yes.
doesn't Nami just like sort of tell the wolves to fuck off basically, and they're like, oh, we're scared of her, and then they're doing the little dance thing around the fire. It's great.
Is this foreshadowing the hun-tun-tun-tun, because
It could be.
it is that dance.
Yeah, it's a good dance though.
Sorry, Chris.
I didn't get that reference.
No, you won't. Not for a little while.
Huntington.
Yeah.
Huntington's disease. No, he said dun da da da. No, but yeah. So like there's a scary moment where Chopper gets attacked on the ship and he's crying and he's on fire a lot, and that was horrible. But Ganfall saves him, sort of. What did you think of Pierre?
All the
I
birds.
didn't get that. Right. I thought exactly the same thing as Zoro, where he was like, because obviously he's a big bird that has had some sort of devil fruit so he can turn into a horse.
Oh yeah.
But when he turns into a horse, he still has wings, so he's a Pegasus. And it's kind of
Yes.
like, what's the point?
But it
He
is not.
does exactly the same abilities.
But it's not the horse. It's not the horse fruit Pegasus model. This is the regular horse fruit. And funny enough, you have actually seen the Pegasus model horse somewhere else in this group of episodes.
I can't think.
Remember that guy in Blackbeard's crew who was on the sad-looking horse?
Oh, yes.
So that has the horse fruit Pegasus model,
Right.
but Pierre's just a bird with a horse.
Actually, that was a question as well, because do you know when I've been told by Lee that there's only one type of devil fruit exists at one time?
Yes, like the exact same one. Yeah.
Yeah. So does that not count for like varieties, so Pegasus and horse? Because how many people have how many animals have had the human fruit?
One.
Oh, but yeah, we wouldn't know. But yeah, there's like a lot of different. They start to get a bit silly with it, where it's like, oh, this is like the fish thing, but like a different model and stuff like that. That's not a fish at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of
Right.
there's a lot of weird like granularity that doesn't always make sense. I think it's just so he can add as many as he wants. If I'm honest.
Oh, so you'd be like, oh, he's had the human fruit, but he has 3 legs though, so it's different.
Yeah, like the 3-leg model. Yeah, they would just call it that.
Right. I get,
Yeah, the human fruit is like in Chopper's case is just weird as hell. Because like, yeah, I mean, you guys have already probably like you've already talked about it, but yeah, who knows what Chopper's just turned into like the biggest freak on the planet that we've seen when you think about it.
More with the Merry as well. Chris, who fixed the Merry in the middle of the night that Usopp saw?
I don't know. I've been thinking about this as well because I thought, oh, did they give it away in the flashbacks? Because they have a few. Usopp has a couple of flashbacks, and it's just a figure, and it smiles, and that's it.
Yeah,
and I don't know. So it's got to be someone from Skypiea who can go up to Skypiea. Could it have been one of the Shandorians? No. But they repaired it with metal, so they don't have access to that. So what? I don't know. You find out.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's
absolutely.
It is brilliant as well. It's really nice.
I'm glad you haven't predicted it though, because you're good at predicting stuff that actually does come true. Yeah. He goes for a pee, and then he sees a ghost, and he's like, and just collapses out again. Of course he does. It's Usopp.
Yeah.
I loved Luffy being trapped in the cave as well.
Oh yeah.
He's like, what's going on with this cave? And then
yes,
a lot of people complain about that's one of the complaints I've seen. They're like, oh, Luffy spends like 17 hours inside of a snake, and I'm like, yeah, but who cares? Like the other guys are fighting. Like it doesn't matter if Luffy's there or not. Like, you know, Zoro's fighting in a cage match with this like, you know, iron guy, you know, and a giant snake and a gorilla with a bazooka. It's like, oh, you're just waiting for Luffy, are you not interested by any of this? This is
do give everyone like screen time, unlike this is the Goku show. Only Goku can fight these people. Like
and when Goku's not there, we just wait for him to show up and get beat to death. Yeah, like which is fun in its own way. And Luffy does a bit of that. Like,
I mean, it does happen when they're fighting Enel. Like, those points in that, like first watching it, where it's like, oh my god, are these people going to die? Is Chopper dead?
It looks like he kills Robin as well. Like later on, like I was like, holy shit, did not remember that. Yeah.
Actually, in this series, right, I thought because everyone was dropping like flies, where there was only I think there was only Luffy left, and I thought, is there some actual kind of god power, like Gonfall? Is he an actual god, and he has to bring them back to life and resurrect them to the point there? Because it was like when I was watching it, was just like Zoro's gone, Usopp's gone, everyone like they look like they're dead, and there's no chance of them waking up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they eventually do wake up, but they did have like 40 million volts to the dome and that.
Yeah, if you can believe that Eneru's calculations are correct, and he's not just trying to be extra scary. I did like how all of Eneru's attacks were sort of named after different lightning gods and stuff. Like he had like El Thor and stuff, and I'm sure I'd recognize some of the other names from like video games and stuff. Let's be honest, I ain't no historian. But like god names show up in like, you know, Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So that was a cool touch. What did you think of his ears, Chris? Them lobes be dangling.
I kept thinking they're horrible for fighting. But then again, he thought he was a god, and like he would have people stab him in the head, and he would be able to survive that.
I do like how much of a psychopath he appears, like when he first shows up. It's just the way he fights is so unnatural because he is invincible to most people. That when he shows up, it's just like he's just horrible. Like to that guy, like one of the gorillas, and he's just like, I'll give you like 5 seconds to try and kill me. He's just sort of sat there.
Yeah, I'll not move or do anything or retaliate for a full 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I get. I genuinely, I just saw him as he's got a god complex as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, he thinks he's a god, and people worship him as a god. And that's what I got from that. Whereas, if I thought I was invincible, was bored, waiting for me plan to hatch and come to fruition, I would be pissing about like that. I'd be like, oh, he's trying to kill us. Yeah, shoot us with that gun, see what happens. And like put the fear of God in him.
Yeah, and like It sounds like he entirely destroyed his home island for some reason. Like, who does that?
He's a proper weird introvert, isn't he? Where he's just like, I just want to be alone. How can I do this? I'll kill everyone. I'll get on my flying ship and just electrocute the entire world so that I can be here by myself.
Yeah, not like a quick death, like a really like destructive and scary one.
Do you know if he managed to get down to the Blue Sea? Do you think he would have got far?
I mean, his power's pretty strong for most people, but yeah, there's some guys who would make him humble. Some guys we saw, in that Warlords chat for sure, wouldn't put up with Eneru's bullshit for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Mihawk would just annihilate him immediately.
Yeah, but most of the he could run East Blue. I'm sure. There's not many guys who could stand up to, and plus he can just fly across the sea, so he doesn't even need like a ship or anything. He can just turn into lightning and sort of zip about. But yeah,
I don't think he wanted to go to the Blue Sea though.
I don't know I don't think he knew what he wanted. I don't think anyone up there has seen what the Earth looks like. Yeah, sorry about that, buddy. It's mostly sea.
Yeah, he was looking for the endless of Earth, which
is just Earth, I think.
So I asked you guys, I was like, is because obviously there's the Sky Islands. I'm guessing that there's other element islands. There's probably a fire island or something like that. But I was like, is there such thing as the endless Earth? But the more I think about it, because they've had not much contact with the Blue Sea people.
Yeah.
Have they not come in contact with, say, Goldie Roger or something? And it's been like, oh yes, where I come from, there's endless Earth, where you have clouds, and he's took that as in to say, literally, as far as I can see, there's only Earth, and that's what I want.
Yes, because they have this like religious like thing where they think the Earth is like sacred, like the land that has like been dumped in the middle of Skypiea, which we know as Jaya, effectively, like from knock upstream stuff. They say it as like sacred, so I guess he's thinking like, oh well, this is the land that was promised to me 1,000 years ago. It's all down there, and I'm gonna get there and like rule over my birthright sort of thing. Yeah, it's weird. It's a good like juicy reason for him to be so like crazy, I guess. But he must be crazy, like you say. Weird introvert, wants to kill everybody. Where did he find a devil fruit? Was it grown in the sky? Or did he like get it from like a pirate who brought it up?
Yeah.
He just landed in his hand one day. He did like fruit. He was eating bananas and shit.
So
yeah, where did they grow?
So on Skypiea, there's 2 races of people. We've got is it Shandorians in that one? I think it's Shandians in the
Shandians, and they live in Shandora, yeah.
Right. But then there's the other people, which I think are the Skypeans, who I think originated from the Bergens.
Right.
So the Bergens, where does Eneru go after he's finally beat?
Oh, he leaves the planet.
He goes to the moon. Because that's where the Bergens are originally from.
Right.
Sorry, what?
They come from Eneru.
I didn't get this.
His ancestors come from the moon. This is part of like some of the stuff from the manga.
Yes, I've heard about this manga only stuff. Like there has been an update on Eneru since this, but not in the TV show.
Because after he gets beaten, he goes and lives on the moon, and there's like some advanced like civilization up there, and there's like a little robot thing, and he electrocutes it and I think it's like just about to die out of energy, and he electrocutes it, and it comes back to life, and it's like, oh, thank you, master. And he's just like, oh, this is fine, okay, just follow us around. And he finds like a big city, and he tries to blow it up with his lightning, but it just, because it's a electronically advanced city, it just repowers the city, and it's all lit up and everything.
Oh, so he's like an accidental savior up there.
Yeah, and he's just living up there, and he's just got loads of robots following him around, and that's Eneru's life now. And there's theories like, are the Straw Hats going to go to the moon at some point? And it's like,
is he gonna come down for the big like final battle?
Is he gonna come down with all of his robot army and stuff? Or will we get portals like in Brullica Island? Will there be like some kind of portal where they can go through and go up to the moon and be like, hang on a minute,
portal here. Fruit. Yeah, that's
Right?
yeah.
Oh no,
I didn't know
So-
that. I didn't know the extent of that, but I had heard it had been followed up in sort of little bits in the manga, but not very like seriously. But that sounds way more fleshed out than I thought.
But the moon to them is known as Fairy Earth. I think that does get mentioned at some point in the anime.
yes, it does.
So if that's known as Fairy Earth, is there a like ancestor like legend of somewhere called the Endless Earth, which is up on the moon? So that could be
Maybe.
what he's been looking for this whole time. Or is Earth the Endless Earth, where they've been trying to get to from the moon?
What a weird guy.
That's why his lobes are mental.
That's because he had big gold earrings from all the shit he stole from the friggin' city of gold. I do like the priests though. They're all the kind of own brand of weirdness. There's that shitty like flying guy who, like you said, he's got like a firebird that he's sort of made. He's just like a weird sky captain. Not bad. He gets dumped in the water and drowned. Good riddance. My favorite's that guy Chopper fights though, who when he gets flustered can't control his body properly, and he's like talking with his mouth like shut, and he's like Chopper's like, oh, what are you doing? And then like he's trying to see with his eyes shut and stuff like that. It's just such a weird thing.
Yes.
But Chopper totally murders his ass.
Zoro fights. There's some guy who was stupid enough to bring a gun to a sword fight.
Oh my god, yeah. He nearly shoots Zoro a couple of times till he realizes his goggles will help because he's got like a flashbang situation going on. So like this is cool though. I don't know how much of this Zoro's done in the past few episodes, but it's sort of where he tries to start figuring out how can I use my swords for like long range? What kind of like fucked up sort of like thing can I do? And he learns like I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a thing where like a beam shoots out of his sword a bit. So he doesn't actually have to close the distance.
Like 36 caliber Phoenix.
Yeah. So he's starting to learn his like more inhuman abilities that he'll go on to develop. But yeah, he's got to think of a lot of stuff in his head because he's constantly making the different references to how heavy the Phoenix is, and then he starts naming it after like weird like gods and stuff later on. Like he does talk about religion a little bit in this. Like Zoro's he keeps his cards close to the chest about what he's learned about.
So I did ask about this. I don't know if you were part of the conversation, Jake, but do you know the moves that he learns are obviously inhuman?
Yeah.
So he'll like closing like doing long distance attacks
like beams,
with a sword.
basically. Yeah.
Is that a kind of mantra or a form of mantra?
I don't know if it's like fully explained what Zoro's deal is, but from what I gather, he's just so strong that he can, like, because he's worked out so much. That seems to be how swordsmen get like to this next level. Because like he'll do stuff where he chops and he's not actually near something and it splits in half, or like explodes. And then other times he can actually like shoot sword beams, like when he feels like it.
It's like your body's energy, isn't it? It's like ki or whatever, like Dragon Ball shooting laser blasts. It's pretty much that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not like something only he can do, but I think it just comes from working out, being buff.
We see Mihawk do it to Don Krieg, his ship.
Oh yeah, that whole like classic anime thing of like you do the chop and then the mountain goes like like miles behind them and stuff. Like yeah. There's just shit like that in this universe.
Right. Because I didn't know if I had something to do with these cursed swords as well.
Could do. There is some more chat on like the swords later on, like way later, about how swords can affect your sort of energy and things like that. And that the curse might be more of a real world thing rather than a magical thing, if that makes sense. But yeah.
Yeah, because the was that whole thing where when he was finding his swords in the bargain bin, it like called to him, didn't it? And he was like, yes, I'll pick this one. And I thought, all right, is that like a vessel to like use his specific energy because he's connected to it in some way, that kind of deal?
Yeah,
or
like
is it mantra or
that's a big trope, isn't it? Like the bloodthirsty sword, where it's like, oh well, this guy's a really good swordsman, therefore if I stick with him, I'm gonna get a lot of kills.
But the swords do collect like energy. Use your energy to make more powerful attacks, like where you're shooting the like laser beam kind of sword swipe things, and the energy has to go through the sword, which it just collects it over time, which could make it cursed or change its color. Like Mihawk's got a black sword.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
and his sword is generally thought to be the best sword in the world. I don't know if that's just because it's so big and it's got a cool cross design, but yeah, like there is like legendary artifacts in One Piece, which is pretty fun.
Oh, what was the beanstalk called in the Japanese one? Because in the dub, it's called like Jack's beanstalk or something.
A giant Jack, I think.
Giant Jack,
or, like,
right?
The giant Jack. Which I thought was fun, a fun twist on it.
I wasn't sure if Japan would have like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, I often wonder about that when I watch like anime, but yeah, they must know like the classic fairy tales, because there's a few in One Piece that get referenced, like sort of our classic, like, but it's like German anyway, so yeah. But yeah, so that iron sword guy sucks. And like, there's that horrible part where like Zoro's like, "Oh no, Chopper's corpse is over there." Like the guy like splits the earth, and he's like, "No," and he like actually like risks his life so that Chopper's corpse doesn't like land on the concrete. It's really sad, but it shows how.
I do like his.
I was gonna say it shows how
revenge
cool.
Line though.
Oh yeah, but like it shows how much Zoro cares, even though he's a big like grumpy guy. He would like risk his life for the weak members of the crew.
The protector.
Oh yeah.
Getting up the beanstalk when it's like collapsing, I do love that as well. That's like I can't remember if the music's playing behind that bit, like it was on the knockup stream, but it should have been.
Yeah, so like that's when they're sort of trying to get to Eneru, who's like, so, oh, by the way, he was building an ark on this island, but it's just for him. It's not like an ark to carry everyone to safety. It's like, nope, this is my electric golden ship that I power with my own mind. He's such a dick.
We haven't mentioned the bell yet either. That bell was quite important in this story, which is what Eneru's flying towards, because he's like, I'm going to take that bell. This is going to be like my prized possession.
Yeah, because we've had like some intrigue around like Robin walking around the ancient city. That is no longer gold because Eneru stole it all. But she's like, there's supposed to be something really cool hidden under the belfry, like the golden bell tower thing. And then Eneru's like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, I guess I'll have that.
So also, like, for the bell, there's a myth that when the bell rings, it's going to end the 400 years of war that they've been fighting between the Shandians and Skypeans.
And boy, does it.
Yeah.
I love that thing about One Piece, though. Like, they do that a lot where it's like, the prophecy, like the prophesized thing that's going to happen. It's like, well, Luffy's going to do it, but it's like, how is he going to do it? It's like, because it seems impossible right now. But yeah, it's interesting. And there's just so much near death on his ship, because he takes Nami, and you're like, holy shit. Like, like Nami can't stand up to electric zaps. And like you were saying earlier, Chris, Usopp is like, I'll get us to the ship with my crotch grappling hook. And he actually does get Sanji up there so they can try and rescue Nami.
What's it called? That grappling rope extension or something like that?
Yeah, a lot of Tarzan. But yeah, I loved how Sanji met Eneru the second time, because he does nearly kill him earlier on. The second time is when he like saves Usopp, and Nami basically kicks Usopp onto the waiver so they can ride away. He takes a full on like El Thor blast, and it just lights his cigarette, and he's like, "Thank you. I was going to ask for a light." It's just like it. Sanji, you're so cool. Takes a lot of punishment as well.
Luffy's big gold hand as well, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So like Luffy.
A poster made about that.
Yes, that it should be a Christmas ornament.
Yeah.
And the big bell on top. Luffy is nuts in this fight. I guess this is the big reveal moment, isn't it? That Chris predicted early on when you were like, oh, the Woodward fruit guy would kick Eneru's ass. And you were like, hang on, wait a sec.
He's made of rubber. So
that face that he makes is one of the biggest One Piece memes when Eneru's just like, when he finally realizes it. There's a few memed faces, which are all going to get cards soon, as I saw, like in the trading card game. So that and Luffy's like no brain mode face, which you already referenced, is another one where he's just got the weird nose. But yeah, like, it's an interesting fight because you wouldn't expect the main character to literally be the weakness for the bad guy, but they still managed to give it stakes because, like you say, he drops him off with that big gold hand, which means he has to run all the way back. So So if you're ever wondering why Luffy is so strong, it's stuff like this where he just doesn't give up and he's just getting like the most immense workout you can imagine.
Yeah.
Sometimes during One Piece as well, he gets power-ups where it's just they'll show a flashback and it'll be like, oh, he actually trained with this when he was like 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Like it was like with his granda, and his granda was like, oh, why don't you do this? And then it comes in to play in like episode 400 and it's like,
yeah.
Why didn't he use this in any of the previous episodes? He does get some weird power-ups just randomly.
Like Gum Gum Fireworks as well, which he never uses again, I don't think, where it's just him shooting out limbs at all directions.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, like there's a couple of times where Luffy has the most horrible shit thrust upon him and uses it for a power-up because he's like, no, I'm just going to grip my teeth and just go. But yeah, it's super awesome because they make you really wait for him to meet Enel again because he's just so far like out of the reach, like literally. And they have to do that whole thing where they ride up the beanstalk on like Nami's waiver, and he's like, it's fine, I've got it from here.
He jumps into the big cloud as well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I forgot about that because he'd already blew up Angel Village, and he's moving the cloud across to do another one, and Luffy just swings his big gold bell around, collects all the electricity, that cloud's gone, and then he finally just gum pistol or something to Eneru's face.
It's like, yeah, I don't think I wrote it down, but it's a special like golden like rifle move or something where he's got like a new name for it. Because if Chris hasn't realized already, Luffy is top of the class at coming up with new attack names like in the moment, like with maybe only like a minute's time to think about it. But yeah, it's beautiful because it rings the bell of Shandora and everyone's just like it. The island sings and all that stuff.
And just couldn't be. It's like, oh, he's rang the bell. The Sky Island's real. My family name is redeemed, and all this.
Yes, which we all wanted to happen because what happened to Nolan was horrible when you actually see the real story of it, which comes Nolan super late. Yeah, because that's now, isn't it? It does a flashback, sort of like nowish.
You get about 5 episodes or something of. Like, like 400 years in the past or something?
Yeah, which is not really how they normally do it. They normally sort of drop the flashback sort of in the middle of the big story. That's probably why people didn't like this either, because they probably thought it sort of took you away. But I think it was sort of resolved at that point, so I was quite happy to see some backstory.
I don't know.
Questions answered.
I quite like the way this was paced and done. I do have things that I don't like about this arc, but that wasn't one of them. I liked the little flashback arc as well. It was like a nice little wholesome thing until the end of it.
Yeah, this was it didn't get me this time, but I'm pretty sure this was the first time I cried at One Piece when it was like just the whole Calgara thing, because it's just so tragic how they send them off the island and then they're like, no, wait, come back, and it's like, nah, it's too late, you're never gonna see your friend again. I mean, they didn't know they were never gonna see each other, but it was just that like, yeah, One Piece does tragedy
when
really
they're so
good.
sad that they just want to see each other as well, and they're both like, oh, I hope Nolan's okay, and he's about to be beheaded or something, and he's just like, I hope my friend Calgara is okay. And it's so nice, but it's so sad.
Yeah, and they basically become friends from being like so manly around each other, because it's like Nolan gets like trapped in a ditch, like, and he's just like, but you can't get out of that in time to save your friends. And then he like just powers out of it, and he's like, oh, perhaps you're more of a man than I thought. It's just pure like anime, like macho-ness.
Now you have the privilege of curing my village of a disease.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like you said, I think you mentioned it's a lot like Native American style stuff where it's like, you know, people coming in from ships to try and mess about with their like ways. So they're like very angry, but it turns out he was just trying to help. Unfortunately, they have to cut down some sacred trees that have the disease in them. And they think like that's their ancestors. They think like these white trees, but it turns out it's just like trees that are affected by a virus. And then, they get cast off the island and they leave their treasure as well, which is like, see, Nolan was like the best guy. I can't believe you betrayed him.
Yeah.
But
it is sad. Thinking back, it is sad.
And then the king murders him.
Yeah.
He's like, you jackass, there's no friggin' island here. Time to die.
You've made me come all this way and you're chatting shit. Okay.
He gets the friggin' Gold Roger, like neck stab, like the public execution, while everyone's like, he's a liar. And his crew's like, no, he's not. But then like, shh.
Why? Because they've hired somebody else who isn't part of the crew to be like...
To testify, yeah.
False flag event.
Yeah, Chris, you'll see that a lot of the kings in the world of One Piece are all corrupt pieces of shit. There's only a handful of their good ones.
Cobra's a good one.
Yeah.
Alabaster one. He was alright.
King Cobra.
Yeah. There's some that are okay guys, but there's a lot of bad royal lineages in this world.
It's weird because it's so far like the opposite from real life. Because as we know, all people in power in real life are utterly uncorrupt and only have the will of the welfare of the people.
Above reproach, yeah.
Sorry.
So anyway, it's time to party on Skypiea because we've saved everybody. Apart from everything's destroyed. But now they're going to live together in harmony.
And one of the most important parts of this whole saga, Robin finds the poneglyph.
Yes.
And it's got like a little message carved from Goldie Roger as well about like the real poneglyph and stuff like that.
Yeah. I wrote down what it said in the Japanese subtitle. So it was, I made it here. I will guide this text to the end of the earth. I don't know if it was any different
I think it was similar.
Yeah. So I don't know what that means exactly, other than I guess like Robin sort of puts it together. So this is one of the road poneglyphs. Is that right?
Yeah.
Which is a network of them that are possibly a different color, I think, as well, where all of the text connects together into some like larger message. So that's basically Robin's goal, is to like decode. It must be how you get to like Laugh Tale, I guess, or you need it there to see whatever the One Piece is. But yeah, it's a pretty insane lore drop in a saga that some people skip.
Right.
They talk about the D as well, don't they?
Yes, they talk about the D, and they talk about is it Neptune?
Poseidon.
Yes.
Poseidon. Another weapon that we find out, because we've got Pluton and Poseidon now. That's two weapons that
I knew it was a planet. But there was a more interesting thing as well, where Nico wouldn't read another part of it. She was like, "Oh yeah, it's got something written down there. Doesn't interest us." I want to know what it said.
Possibly. Well, I think the problem is, I think it's gibberish until you have all of them together. Like it looked when it's sort of, because it joins them together with a big line in a circle, doesn't it? In her mind, so you will get a sort of abstract flash thing. So I think it's like the lines are kind of gibberish on their own until you get more.
I hope it was just random stuff at the bottom that wasn't important, and whoever was like carving these stuff into the poneglyph, they got so far and then were like, "Oh,
I think
shit,
I cut out there. Sorry,
just a little bit."
You just froze. It's all right.
I hope they got to the bottom and they were like, "Right, I'm done. Oh shit, I need to go to the shop. I need eggs, milk, bread," and that's all it says at the bottom of the poneglyph.
Did you notice when I started talking about the Rio poneglyph that the world government cut me off? Just saying.
Oh yes,
yes, because there is some lore drops about the Void Century here as well. Because the Shandorans were apparently part of the war that is now deleted from history, which Nico Robin knows about from reading a lot, I guess.
Which is good as well, because I really think Nico came into a bit of her own in this as well.
Yeah, and she got that cool fight where she like spine broke that giant guy.
I wish she was getting along with the Straw Hats a little bit better after like spending more time with them. But she still refers to like Usopp as Long Nose and Zoro as Swordsman.
Yeah, like everyone's just their title, like Navigator and stuff like that.
I know, but like I didn't mind that because I didn't really accept her. So
yeah,
Chris, were you annoyed at the end of this where they're like, "Oh, we'll gift use this giant gold pillar," and they would have been like rich beyond their wildest dreams. And they're like, "We've got this little bag of gold. Quick, Robin, run! Get on the ship!"
Do you know what? No, I liked that better because that was more Straw Hat crew than if they would have just accepted it.
It was.
There's always that rushed goodbye and a weird misunderstanding where they leave on.
And I liked how Robin just went with it, though. She's like, he's just like this. And she ran as well, even though she knew full well what the situation was.
Yeah. She literally could have said, "Oh, hang on. they're wanting to give us some gold. No, we'll just go.
It's more important that they think they got away with something cheeky.
I think even though that's
Yeah.
a very small part, but I think it is a very big development in Robin's character where she does just go, all right, this is happening. This is what the Straw Hats crew are. I'll just run and we'll steal this gold.
Yeah.
Just like one
Which
of
they
them.
find inside the snake, don't they? Like they go in the snake and fish all the gold. Oh, the snake who has its own little ark where he used to live on Shandor back in the old days and loves like the sound of the bell.
Oh, his
He just
granddad did.
cries.
Because
No, it was him, I think. wasn't it?
Because not Noland killed the giant
The
snake,
big one.
which was the granddad of the little snake, which grows up to be
Yes.
the one that swallows
Yeah.
Luffy and everyone.
Which is why he freaks out when he sees the lost city and he's like crying and stuff. Yeah, One Piece will even make you care about the giant man-eating snake eventually.
Yeah. I'm still, because I've got, obviously, I'm only up to here. I haven't watched ahead, but I'm interested to know that, how good the feature series sagas are compared to this for people to think this is worth skipping.
I don't know. I really don't know why people skip it. I think it's literally just because it's not on the landmass and doesn't connect with any of the other characters, like any of the wider
Right.
world. It's literally just people trying to speed run to like, I want the next crew member right now type of thing, I think.
Right. But once they get on the moon, then they'll have to come back and watch it and be like, oh, right.
Well, like we're saying though, like the Void Century does come up obviously later on, and it's like, yeah, this is the first time it's properly mentioned on screen with some like drips of information about people who were actually there, like a civilization that was actually involved. And yeah, I think Ganfall says like about the D's, like I'm sure it's a big issue that has something to do with history. Like that's all we get.
Yeah.
I guess so. Also, did you guys think the Shandian elder looked a bit like Garp because he had like a dog's head? And I'm like,
yes.
so is Garp from the sky? Who can tell? Who can say?
I didn't think that at first, but then you mentioned it, and now then when I was watching it, it was all I could think of. And I was like,
They've never been
from
connected, or I couldn't find anything online about any mentions. But maybe that's where you got his idea for the dog hat. He's been to Skypiea.
I thought you looked like Godfall. I was just saying this. But to be fair, he's
we're not so
generic old
different,
man.
you and I. Yeah, I don't know why they all had wings either. That wasn't really explained. How the Jaya people ended up with wings and the Skypeans already had it.
Yeah, because they don't seem to use them.
Unless it's like geographically that part of the earth from the ground all the way to the sky evolved wings.
Or maybe.
Yeah, they are just for show. Yeah.
There is one more thing that we haven't mentioned that I want to bring up is how unlucky is the captain of the White Berets? How many things slammed against his face?
Yeah, Nami just ran him over at some point when they were about to get arrested.
And then I think it happens again like 5 minutes later, and then like towards the end of the arc, like he shows up again and something, I think it might be another wave that hits him.
Yeah. So they were, the evil police force that were just trying to follow orders and protect the citizens.
Why do they crawl everywhere?
I don't know. They call them
Sneaky.
they're pretty in Japan. They pretty much call them the hentai knights in a roundabout way. Like they call it like the hen, some like the first part of pervert or like weird. I think it means. I think that's what they call Ganfall a lot of the time as well, like Hen-o-san or like something, or Hen Senshi, like weird knight.
Do you know why I thought the White Berets crawled? To ground themselves in case they get some electricity from Enel's blast.
Maybe.
I'm just pulling stuff at me arse here, like though.
Yeah, I don't know. They made everyone creeped out. So
Yeah, and
maybe you're not supposed to do
greeting
this
as
in
well.
Japan.
And say belly button.
But yeah, everyone's happy. They send the Straw Hats down, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you just drive off here and you'll get down." And they're like, "Okay, we'll trust you on that."
And the giant octopus. I forgot that was the end of this arc as well.
Oh yeah, just at the halfway point of falling to the death.
It's mental how no one seems to think about. Oh, should we tell them about the giant octopus parachute? Nah, be all right.
I mean, Luffy's fine with it. He's just like, whenever anything like this happens. Yeah, where do they land though? That's the question.
Next time on StrawChat.
Yeah. So next week on StrawChat, we'll start the little filler arc, the G8 Marine Base arc.
Yeah.
Jack
Not
kind
the
of
summit.
joined. Sorry,
Not the summit.
No.
no, but yeah. Thanks for joining me again, and bye.
Cheers.